Is it possible that someone knew every single DLC returning Pokemon 1 month ago? Maybe. Let's roll that intro. Whoa, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy Dan, aka aDrive, up for guys, a brand new video today, and today we are jumping into the Pokemon Sword and Shield Isle of Armor DLC news, information, and possible leaks. This one's interesting, man. There's some crazy stuff we're gonna talk about in this video, and I'm excited to jump into it. But before we do all that, be sure to hit that like button down below. Subscribe if you guys are new. Get those notifications turned on as you do not want to miss a video on the channel, and let me know which returning Pokemon you are most excited for the Isle of Armor DLC in the description below. For me, I'm holding my fingers out for Heracross still, but I'm really excited to see Scyther and Scizor make their return to the Galar region. That's gonna be really, really cool. But I don't want to waste any more time. Let's jump into the video. So before I jump into kind of the main potential leak of this video, I wanted to talk about a couple bits of news that may pinpoint exactly when this DLC is coming out. And I actually have been informed, and I was previously wrong about this point, but we'll dive into that here in a second. First things first, I'm the realist. We got Cerebi.net, of course, Joe Merrick reporting on the fact that there is going to be Ash's movie cap is going to be given to players in Sword and Shield Isle of Armor if they have Zarude in their party. There's been a lot of question marks about Zarude and whether he's going to be actually still coming to the DLC because the movie Coco is getting postponed due to the coronavirus, but it seems as though we are still going to get that Ash movie cap, which is pretty cool as one of the bonuses there, and the mythical Pokemon Zarude. So I think everything's going to go according to plan. How that distribution is going to take place, I have no idea. It's most likely going to be some sort of a mystery gift, but perhaps they'll have some sort of little DLC integrated into it, but I think it'll just be a mystery gift downloadable, which will be cool either way. We'll be able to get Zarude. I don't know if it'll come out exactly when the DLC comes out, but it should be shortly thereafter. The next bit of information is really, really big, and this basically talks about Pokemon Sword and Shield Isle of Armor DLC and when it is going to come out. Now, for those who don't know, typically when a new Pokemon game comes out, it comes out midnight local time of wherever you are. So if I'm in Eastern time in the United States, in Connecticut, so when it's midnight here, you know, it's like 5 o'clock in the morning in the UK. It's, you know, I don't know, 3 in the afternoon or something in Japan. So obviously time zones are a thing, so people are gonna get the game at different times. If, you know, it comes out on Wednesday the 17th, that means people in Australia would have gotten it on Tuesday, right? Because the time zones and stuff. But with the DLC, it is actually different. And this is a point that I was incorrect on. I was previously thinking the DLC was going to be released midnight local time, but it is not going to be released at midnight local time. It is going to be a global release, which means that everyone in the world will get the DLC at the same time. Now, we know from kind of the language that has been used in Japan that it is coming out at nighttime in Japan. So at nighttime in Japan, it is very early in the morning in the United States, and that is what this right here, this maintenance for Pokemon Home really gives us some indications to. So this maintenance is taking place from 9 UTC to 14 UTC. Now that is roughly nighttime in Japan, and for where I live, Eastern time, New York time, that is, I believe, something like 4 a.m. to 10 a.m. in the morning, right? 5 a.m., 10 a.m., somewhere in there, right? It's like super early in the morning. So what that tells us is that it is very, very likely that the Isle of Armor DLC is going to be released around this time. I would venture to guess that it would come out right after the Pokemon Home maintenance. Wouldn't that make so much sense, right? Because you need to have Pokemon Home updated in order for these Pokemon to be able to be transferred and moved around and things like that. I have a hard time believing they would release the DLC. You wouldn't be able to transfer things in from home until a few hours later because Pokemon Home is down. That seems kind of weird to me. It makes sense as if the Isle of Armor DLC were to come out at 14 UTC. So if we look at this clock right here and I go to 14 UTC, all right? So that's gonna be, this would be 12, 1, 2. So 14 would be roughly 2 p.m. That's 14 UTC, which is 10 a.m. Eastern time, which is where I'm at. And that's also gonna be 11 p.m. Japan time, right? So that gives us a general idea. If they waited an extra hour, then it wouldn't be on Wednesday anymore in Japan. It would be the following day. So this is just a quick time zone conversion, but you can obviously look, but this is what we're expecting. I'm thinking it's going to be 10 a.m. Eastern time. Now, again, I don't know for sure exactly when this is going to be coming out, but I think that this is a good general idea. So anyway, let's jump into this potential leak, because this is really good stuff. Okay, so this post was from May 13th, 2020, which is about a month ago, and it's basically indicating every Pokemon that's supposed to be returning in the Isle of Armor and Crown Tundra DLCs. Now, I did cross-reference this list with Cerebi.net's list to basically ensure that there was no inconsistencies, and believe it or not, I have not found any inconsistencies. Boom, look at that. All those Pokemon are confirmed. Any of the Pokemon that have kind of a green box around them, 100% confirmed. So, as you can tell, this has not gotten anything wrong. There was nothing missing from this list, but there's obviously a handful of Pokemon that haven't been revealed. I would say about 40% of the Pokemon have not been revealed yet, which is very, very interesting. The other important piece to note here is that a lot of these Pokemon were shown in a trailer after May 13th, our most recent trailer reveal, which showed us things like Tauros and Exploud. It showed us Scyther and a couple other Pokemon that were included in this list. And again, this list continued to get things right. So, is it possible someone guessed? Of course it is. Is it also possible that someone had access to that list and just posted it? Also very possible. There's some really big question marks here, but so far, so good. So let's take a look at the Pokemon that this list says are coming to the DLC, whether it's the Crown Tundra or the Isle of Armor, and what hasn't been revealed yet, right? So Sansur and Sandslash, we could assume they're Alola forms, which I would tend to believe. Jigglypuff and Wigglytuff. Jigglypuff, a very big, important Pokemon in kind of the anime. Abracadabra, Alakazam, Tentacool and Tentacruel. Slowbro, which I actually should have highlighted, but that's okay. Cubone, Marowak, and Lickitung. Jinx, which is a very unique Pokemon because it has a new cry in Pokemon Home, so that'll be interesting to see if anything happens with Jinx, whether it gets a Gigantamax or whatever. Porygon, Ammonite, Omastar, Kabuto, Kabutops, Aerodactyl, so fossils. Dragonite, which I think everyone would expect Dragonite to come back. Igglybuff, of course. Dunsparce, Heracross, Porygon 2, Smoochum, which would tie with Jinx. Miltank, which kind of ties with the fact that we have Tauros. Some of the starters, Trico, Torchic, Mudkip. I would very much so believe that those would return. Carvanha and Sharpedo, and then more fossils, of course. Absol should also be highlighted in green because that was most recently confirmed. And then Bagon, Shelgon, Salamence. I think a lot of people would expect those to return. And then we've got other Pokemon for the next, kind of moving to the Sinnoh region here. We've got Baneri and Lopunny. We've got Licky and Porygon Z. Victini, which does have, I will mention that V-Create is in the game files, by the way. Like, we know that V-Create's in Sword and Shield. Lillipup, Herdier, Stoutland, Audino, Venipede, Whirlipede, Scolipede, Petalil, and Lilligant. More fossils, Tortuga, Caracosta, Archon, and Archeops. So a lot of the fossils, which we know we have Aurorus coming back, so it feels very likely that we're gonna get more fossils in general. I think if they include one, they really include a lot of them, or if not all of them. Mienfoo and Mienshao recently confirmed, of course. Druddigon, of course. Some of those are the new ones that we just recently saw. Again, predicting all of these, and this was before the most recent trailer. Genesect, the mythical Pokemon. Clauncher, Clawitzer, which makes sense because we have Dragalge, and then Tyrunt and Tyrantrum as well, also being brought, as again, we know that Amora and Aurorus were confirmed. Carbank is a random one, and then Klefki. And then you've got some more mythicals, Deontay and Volcanion, which again, mythicals, I'm not surprised because we can transfer mythicals in, right? Like we have Reshiram and Zekrom that we can transfer in from Pokemon Home. It's not necessarily that the mythicals are gonna be in the DLC to get, but that we can transfer them in, right? So, Deontay and Volcanion, Comfey, Sandygast, and Polisand, which I could definitely see on some of those beaches, maybe. And then Ultra Beasts, which I find to be surprising, but these Ultra Beasts may be just transferred in, right? Nihilego, Buzzwole, Pheromosa, Xurkitree, Celesteela, Cortana, Guzzlord, Poipole, Naganadel, Stakataka, and Blacephalon. So, very, very crazy stuff, man. Now, again, it is very possible that this individual just predicted and guessed and got it right, but it's interesting to note, again, that every Pokemon that was revealed in the most recent trailer, which was after this post was made, has still been confirmed to be true. Now, again, you could get lucky, but again, nothing has been, nothing, kind of kind of is a miss here, right? You got Tauros, you got Scyther in the new trailer, Luxray was in the new trailer, Skarmory was in the new trailer. Again, all these Pokemon that for the first time we saw in this most recent trailer were confirmed on this list. So I think we need to take this list with a grain of salt, right? Like I wouldn't go into this and be like, oh my God, this is it. My favorite Pokemon's returning. Like I'm over here sitting here waiting for Heracross. I'm not gonna be like, oh my God, 1,000,000% Heracross is returning. But I will say, it's relatively convincing that it could line up just right. I mean, it very well could, and I don't think it's out of the question that someone could have had access to the Pokedex. Again, this isn't like a leak saying, oh, there's gonna be Galarian whatever. This is saying, hey, these are the Pokemon that I know are gonna be allowed. This could be someone from the Pokemon home data team that has this, right? Like, there's so many people who would have this list, I feel like, internally, more so than maybe some other stuff that would be kind of a little bit more localized. So, take what you will from this list here. I really don't know what to expect, but I do think it's pretty interesting to note that this person posted this, you know, weeks before our most recent trailer and hasn't gotten it wrong yet. So, interesting stuff there, guys. Let me know what you think about this in the comments section below. Do you believe it? Do you not believe it? What are you thinking? Be sure to like the video, subscribe if you guys are new, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace. I know you guys just dug that video, but let me tell you, I think you're gonna love this one. It's a top tier video, but if you want to listen to YouTube thinks that you should watch this one. So pick one of the two videos and have yourself a great day.